Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a scenario of what if Listenberg formed an empire. Now Listenberg is a pretty historic country. It's existed for quite a while. In the 700s, they were one of the few countries in the region who had managed to block the expansion of Arabs from, of course, where they dispersed from, which was over here in the Middle East. They eventually made it their way up into Andalusia, to which the French and the Listenbergish people were successfully able to repel these people off. They built a wall in this area, but it'd be kind of a interesting scenario to look at whether or not what if this country went ahead and formed an empire. Now, yeah, let's just jump right on into the scenario. But first, I do want to say that I've been trying to do all these videos in one take so I can spend less time editing and I can spend more time actually recording videos, which is such a fun thing to do. So I'm going to be focusing on that. And this video might not be the best quality, but I mean, I don't care. As long as I'm having fun is what I want to go for. But if it makes some people happy along the way, then that is definitely a good thing as well. But that's also kind of my goal. Anyways, from here, the kind of only target that the Listenbergish people have is going to be Portugal. And so they're going to be declaring war on Portugal. I don't know much about the international relations of Listenberg, so we're going to go ahead and see them just launching an invasion. I know Listenberg as a country is pretty strong. They weren't a colonial power, but they were definitely a contender to become one. They were one of the earlier countries to industrialize, and yeah, they're definitely not a. I think Portugal is Portugal a third world country? I don't think it should be, but I've heard somewhere that it is. But yeah, we're gonna see Portugal getting obliterated here, and they're gonna lose their capital. From here, they're just gonna fall apart. And at this point, they're just part of Listenberg at this point. So yeah, let's erase this boundary, which has been a border for a while. I don't know how long, but this border has been here for a very long time. And Listenberg has finally moved out of this area, and now they're gonna move elsewhere. And by elsewhere, I mean they're going to move into their only other option, which is Spain. And Spain, honestly, might be a little stronger. Whoa, that's the wrong color. Spain might be honestly a little stronger than Listenberg is, but Listenberg is buffed in this scenario, so therefore they're going to have a little bit of an advantage in invading here. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be able to expand from this point. Spain would probably intervene if they invaded into Portugal in the first place, or the other way around. These three are like a loving relationship. It's weird, but yeah, we're gonna see Listenberg invading into Spain here. They have the advantage because they're buffed, and I want to take this moment to say that this video is not reflecting any relations and whatnot, and this is not meant to reflect reality in any way because Listenberg would definitely not invade their brother Spain, and yeah. Eventually, though, however, Spain will be losing out on a lot of land, more particularly in the south here, as this area is just folding over to Listenberg, as Spain is an unstable country. As well as this, the Basque region will fall over, and Catalonia will kind of just join up with this, and then Valencia will join up, and eventually Spain's going to become landlocked, and from here they're going to capitulate. And Listenberg will make a pledge, and in this pledge, they're going to vow to unite the world. Listenberg is definitely the country to do it if any country were to do that. So it'd be interesting to see if they are capable of doing it or not. So yeah, let's erase this boundary that has existed for a while as well. I don't know how old these borders are, but they have such ancient borders. From here, we can get rid of the capital of Spain. From here as well, we can get rid of the capital of Andorra because Andorra will be successfully swayed into joining up with this empire. And at this point, this thing is looking to the future. This thing is going to focus on its economic growth. And from here, they're going to do something pretty controversial. And that is launching an invasion into Morocco. And this is a very controversial move because Morocco is enemies with the three Iberian countries. Actually, I don't know much about Portugal, but I know they don't like Spain. But yeah, Morocco's not really in favor of this new empire up here. So, yeah, when the Listenbergish people invade, a whole bunch of the countries throughout Africa begin to think colonialism might be returning. However, this is not the case because Listenberg doesn't really believe in colonies. They more so believe in just an empire, and Morocco is kind of in the way of that. So, yeah, from here, they're going to quickly dart down the coastline, and eventually we will see Morocco collapsing. And at this point, we can just shift that color because they're not going to spare Morocco whatsoever. And yeah, this is now what the new empire of Listenberg looks like. And they're going to allow for the recognition of Western Sahara down here. Also, these islands are a part of Listenberg. If I can get on the right layer, I'll recolor them. But there we go. And yeah, from here, the colors are still being weird, but yeah, from here we can now talk about their expansion elsewhere because they're going to be getting rid of this god awful nation on this map. The land that encompasses France is the worst chunk of land to ever come about the land on Earth. And Listenberg will be doing a favor by invading directly into it. And France will surrender as they do best. And from here, we will see Listenberg um completely annexing all of France. No opposition whatsoever. NATO, of course, doesn't exist in this scenario. So France is just it immediately succumbs. And from here, they're going to immediately go on a trend of annexing smaller states. Luxembourg and Monaco, I said those in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter, will both succumb to the demands of Listenberg, as Listenberg is just too superior. You can't do anything about it. And from here, Listenberg will set their eyes on their next prey, which is the next largest neighbor they have, which is Algeria. They will launch an invasion into Algeria, and very quickly, this will spark a larger war. Despite gaining recognition for the Western Sahara, a whole bunch of countries in northern Africa will oppose this. And I know some of these alliances are unlikely, but these guys don't want an expanding Listenberg, and they don't want colonization to return. And now that I think about it, these guys are probably joining it too. So yeah, from here, yeah, Listenbergish forces will begin to move into Algerian territory. As such, as Algeria doesn't have much of a defense in comparison to the ginormous Listenbergish army at this point, so Listenberg will successfully be able to take the capital of Algeria early on in the war. And from here, they will capitulate the country. At this point, um, Listenberg will invade directly through the Sahara and will very quickly gain a complete dominion over the desert here. And they will begin to do a whole bunch of attacks internally on the governments until they begin to like fall back and agree to peace. The first country to fall to this is Tunisia, as they don't have a reason to fight against it. Following this, we see Niger, and then Mauritania. Following this is Libya, then Sudan, Eritrea, who hadn't even lost anything yet. Then we see Western Sahara, Mali, Egypt, and finally Burkina Faso. And at this point, I mean, what's stopping them? Listenberg will annex the entirety of every single country they were just at war with. And, yeah, they're on their quest to unite the world, all right. And this is going to take me a while to actually color in because there's just so many different countries here that Listenberg will be annexing. It's just so much, yet it makes so much sense. It's like everything's falling in place. This is the video I needed to make. Anyways, from here, I gotta finish actually this border because it's just so ginormous. Anyways, Listenberg will now control all this region here. And yeah, from here we will just go ahead and get rid of every single one of these capitals because at this point we're gonna delete the capitals layer because Listenberg will go ahead and do something the world has never seen before. And that is something that is every single country being at war with one singular country, as Listenberg will declare war on the world. Starting off in Africa, where the front line is the weakest, Listenbergish forces will begin to decimate these countries as they have no means of fighting back. These countries will immediately get wiped off the face of the earth, and their capitals are just erased. Chad, they're not Chad enough. They get obliterated. And from here, we're going to see them immediately wiping out Djibouti and all these countries. They make landings throughout the Middle East and quickly wipe out all the controversial countries in this region. From here, they're going to wipe out all the war in the world elsewhere, as they're going to take out the core areas of Russia and Ukraine, as well as this, they're going to take out the British. They're doing a whole bunch of deeds for humanity. And from here, they're going to wipe out the Scandinavian area and most of Russia. At this point, they're going to squeeze out the rest of Africa, as at this point, you cannot escape Listenberg. They're just too strong. They will also wipe out all of Madagascar and those islands. From here, the rest of Arabia. At this point, you cannot stop the giant advancing army from invading into Asia, as it's just pushing all the way in. They're just going to ignore geography and push through mountains at this point, wiping out all of Asia. At this point, they're going to make their way through the Arctic, reaching into regions such as Canada and the northern US, making their way through Central America and the Caribbean, eventually to where they reach northern South America. At this point, they're going to make landings across Antarctica, and they're going to take the entire thing, eventually making landings in southern areas of South America. Southern South America sounds weird to say, but yeah. And eventually, their island campaigns will reach New Zealand, where eventually they will conquer the world. This is the full extent of the Listenbergish Empire, and they're going to unite the world successfully. I know this video is definitely a shorter one, but it's definitely the coolest one I've ever done. Listenberg is a country that I've always wanted to do for a while, and I kind of wanted to exaggerate it, and this is the only way I could ever see me doing that. Anyways, I do want to say that I'm not going to draw a treaty for this because that would take me forever, and they would just probably annex the entire thing. So you'd probably be looking at a map just straight up red like this. So, yeah, that's your Listenberg Empire right there. Just ignore the borders. But, yeah, if you did make it this far into the video, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe, because it shows that you not only enjoy this type of content, but it also shows that you watched all the way through this video. And also, liking the video, that helps out a lot too. It tells me you like this type of content and that I should make more. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get notified for the next Listenberg video that I make. There will be more. But, yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. And I want to wish you all a I'm gonna wish you all a happy April Fool's Day. I'm getting mixed up on my tongue here, and it's just beautiful.